last video, we looked at translators. We looked at the purpose of them, and we looked at the different translators that are available and when you would use them. In this video, I'm going to be looking at IDEs, or Integrated Development Environments. Now, you've been using an IDE for the last 2 years in your course. You've been using Python idle. Now, an IDE is a piece of software that allows you to code. So you've got your code there, and it allows you to run and execute your program. So let's have a look in more detail at the features of this software. So an IDE, as we've just said, a piece of software that provides features that help the programmer develop their program. So the point of an IDE is to make our life easier. So things like, if you look at this code on the right, keywords are turned orange, function names are turned blue. Strings are in green. So things like that help us to debug, because you know if you'd missed a speech mark off on the end of there, those brackets would be green and you know it wouldn't work properly. So features that you need to know about, code editor, which no prizes for guessing, it's the window where you edit your code, so where you write your program. The runtime environment, where your program will run. Okay, so it's always our Python shell. The output window, so when we've done things like graphics, like Python Turtle, and that extra window pops up, that's our output window. And it also provides debugging tools. So the fact that when you've got an error, a red error message will pop up saying, on line 3, the string isn't working properly, that kind of thing. That is a debugging tool. So let's have a look at each of these in more detail. So I think we've talked through most of this, but it's worth recapping. So the code editor is where you run your code. And like we said, it has color coding, auto indentation. So if you put a colon in an if statement and then press enter, it will automatically indent to the correct place. All of these are there to help the programmer. Your runtime editor allows you to see how your program's running. It also identifies any errors that are arising. Your debugging tools, like we've said, the program will say you've got an error on line 3 to do with variable X. So it helps the programmer to find exactly what's going wrong with the program. Your output window, you'll use this particular A-level. It shows you what your program's going to look like. So when you're doing your A-level program, where your buttons are being displayed, or in Python Turtle, where your shape is being drawn, what color it is, that kind of thing. Now, a feature of more advanced IDEs, less so with Python idle because it's one of the more basic ones, in IDEs like Spider, which you might have used, it allows you to create auto documentation. So you can get your IDE to create a list of your variables or your subprograms and keep them in a separate document, which if you were working on a big project with a lot of other developers might be super useful. That is it about IDEs. Please make sure that you review and watch the video again if you need. If you're happy and you've done all your notes, I'm going to leave these questions with you. Please pause the video, have a go at the questions, and check your knowledge.